Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's talk about the Indiana Fever and something I don't think they're getting, and I think they're in for a rude surprise. Look, if things don't change, it's going to be all over. There is what, a 1 month break of the season for the Olympics? Dear Fever, the fans are not going to come back after the Olympic break. Maybe the ones playing attending games in person because they've bought their tickets, but other than that, the support, they're not coming back. TV ratings are going to crash. People are not going to tune in. Why? Great question. Let's get to that. Let me ask you this. If the WNBA was trying to ruin Caitlin Clark, what would they do differently? If the Indiana Fever and Christy Sides, ugh, were trying to ruin Caitlin Clark, what would they do differently? And look, before all the haters and the trolls come out and start yapping about how she's overrated and you think she can't do anything wrong and all this, look, does Caitlin Clark have parts of her game she needs to improve? Absolutely, of course she does. She's a rookie. All players have things they need to improve. I mean, look, her teammates need to learn to catch the damn ball. They need to learn to set a basic pick. They need to learn how to run a basic offense. They and the entire WNBA needs to learn how to make a layup. So yeah, Caitlin Clark has things she needs to improve upon. When she gets into the paint, she needs to make the decision and get better at actually driving to the hoop and finishing instead of being so unselfish that she keeps her dribble and gets and comes back out of the lane and looks for a teammate. She's got to start instead shooting that ball. She's got to stop giving the ball up so quickly. She's got to work on a mid-range game, not the dumb long two that Christy Sides wants, but a nice mid-range game. So when she gets in the paint, maybe she can pull up and shoot a jumper, or she can release that teardrop. Absolutely. I've said in the past about a lot of her turnovers being her teammates' fault for not catching the ball, or it's just Caitlin trying to reward teammates and making a high degree of difficulty pass. However, that being said, does she get lackadaisical or casual with the ball at times on the when she's dribbling? Yeah, she does. That's why she's gotten her pocket picked a few times. So let's not get crazy about that. So, setting that aside, the Indiana Fever need to trade Caitlin Clark, one for Caitlin Clark's sake, but two for the WNBA's sake. Look, the role that they've decided she has, because they don't like her, is one any walking corpse can perform. They don't need, I don't know why they drafted Caitlin Clark. They don't need Caitlin Clark to play the role that she's playing. Erica Wheeler can do it. Anyone on the bench can do it. I mean, the role is basically go stand by yourself. I feel like I'm watching a bad version of Dirty Dancing where all I see is Baby being put in the corner and then the rest of it is boring crap. And as we saw late in the game, after the Fever and and Sides allowed the Dream to come back and take the lead after an 18-point deficit because Chrissy Sides has no offense, and as soon as the shots stopped falling, everything fell apart. Then it became, okay, Caitlin, here's the ball in your hands, dribble around. We're not going to set any screens for you. We're not going to move off the ball for you. We're not going to do anything to help you, but we want you to dribble around to create something. And then if you have to force a shot that you miss or you turn the ball over because you're trying to get it to a teammate under pressure, we're going to blame you for that. We're not going to blame us. It's our fault, of course, but we're going to blame you. I mean, it's ridiculous. By the way, and I think I'll have it to show in another video on another topic, but I just want to mention it here. Clark stayed and was taking shots after the game. She was working on getting better as a player. Where were her teammates? I didn't see any of her teammates. They were probably off celebrating the fact that they beat a crap team without Clark having to score 30. The there has to be a team. I'm probably asking too much. I was going to say there has to be a team that would actually welcome her and use her talent correctly, maximize her strengths. Or is the whole WNBA filled with garbage people? Because that's what we're getting from them. I mean, let's face it, no one hates a successful woman more than another less successful woman, and the entire WNBA is less successful women. But it's important for the Indiana Fever to understand this. You're not that important. You are drawing 3,000 fans a game before Caitlin Clark. Many of those fans are not coming back after the Olympic break. The rest won't come back next year. And you'll once again be the worst team in the league, drawing 3,000 fans at home at $3 a ticket if you can charge that much. The TV ratings will crash. You will not be featured anymore. And that will be the end of that. The WNBA will slide back into obscurity where it's always been a charity for the NBA to prop up. Look, the NBA, the offense is garbage. Please understand that because there is no offense. On the it's the same crap offense they ran last year, and Christy Sides has said that. Although she didn't call it crap, but I'm calling it crap. Well, what happened last year? They were the worst team in the league. Sure, it gives them some wins against the worst teams, like the Dream, while getting destroyed against good teams. I think the Fever were something like 13 and 12 against teams with a losing record, against the worst teams in the league, and winless against the rest. Because this offense can't beat good teams. It can beat a bad team like the Dream, who doesn't have a center to defend against Boston, but it's not going to beat a good team. And by the way, the one thing in my video last night that took off, by the way, was thank you for all of you that watched that and commented, and even the crazy haters who commented. I appreciate that because it helps. But if you remember, Ryan Howard of the Dream went out with foul trouble in the second quarter when it was still a ball game, and she sat for a long time. That was more the difference in the game than anything that the Fever did. But yeah, that offense is terrible. If they want to continue to suck, then there was no reason to draft Caitlin Clark. Freezing her out of the offense is simply about jealousy from insecure women who hate how popular she is. Look, there were multiple times in transition last night when a player could have hit Clark trailing for a wide open three, which is probably her best shot. When she can catch in rhythm in transition and pull up for that three, that is probably her best shot. But they chose not to throw it to her. Here's the thing: if you are going to keep Caitlin Clark, you have to change your offense. Trade Boston, trade Mitchell, trade Wheeler too if you can. Put Smith on notice that dating Carrington doesn't mean she can tank games against the Sun. You need to run all the time. When you're not running, you need to be running baseline and curl screens with double screens for Caitlin Clark all the time. You need to run pick and rolls with players who can be effective after the roll if they're catching a pass, and they need to know how to set screens, which this team still doesn't do. It should be 40 minutes of hell, not 40 minutes of playing in quicksand. Unfortunately, what's going to happen is the NBA is going to have to withdraw its financial support and force the WNBA to make money to survive. But that we know that's never going to happen. The NBA has said it. They've said it multiple times. Oh, well, yeah, we want the league to make money, but you know what? If they don't, we're just going to keep giving them tens of millions of dollars every year to keep the league alive. It gives the WNBA no incentive to change. And even if they did, it would be too late to save Caitlin Clark with the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever needs to take a breath and say, look, we have to change our offense to maximize Caitlin Clark's strengths. I'm not saying the offense is Caitlin Clark chucking up the ball 40 times a game. I'm saying you need to maximize her strengths, minimize her weaknesses, or decide you don't want to do that, run the offense through Boston, and trade Caitlin Clark for players who would be more effective with Boston. I'm going to leave it there. Whew. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, what they should be doing. Should they trade her? Should they change the offense? It's got to be one or the other, right? It's got to be one or the other. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all of you that have already. I think we're fewer than 20 subscribers from 1,000 at this point, which is absolutely amazing. I appreciate all the comments, and seriously, even the ones who are trolling or insulting or making personal attacks against Caitlin or me. That's cool. That's the internet. I mean, it's helpful, right? People see the video and be like, "Wow, look at all those comments. I'm gonna watch this video." But I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks again, and I will talk to you later.